Hello, NPX here. In this vlog, I will be talking about the wonderful movie called Luther, which is, of course, about the great reformer, theologian, reformer basically, known as Martin Luther. People of the Protestant Christian tradition, I would hope, know who Martin Luther is. But this movie right here is an amazing movie. It really gets me pumped. Every time I see it, it just really makes me admire the guy, admire what he fought for, and just how he stood up to the corrupt church in his time. In some ways, viewing this movie and thinking of the time of which Luther was living in, I kind of think of it as similar to what Jesus was going through in his time. Now, of course, it's not a perfect comparison because, well, Jesus is fully man, fully God. Martin Luther certainly is not fully God. He's just a man, and an imperfect one at that. And he was quite aware of that. In fact, he struggled with depression, and he didn't like himself too much. And before he came to study the New Testament and to know the love of God and salvation through Christ, he only saw God as angry at him, and that he was too much of a sinner, that there was no way he could be saved, which is true. He couldn't be saved. The only way he could be saved is through Christ. On his own and nothing, there was nothing he could do. Well, anyway, for those of you who are Christians who have read Scripture, or non-believers, I guess, who have read Scripture, you are aware of the upper echelons, the Sanhedrin and all that, of the Jewish people in that time. The Pharisees, that sort of deal, and the corruption that Jesus dealt with in his time. Well, in Luther's time, you had the Roman Catholic Church at that time was very corrupt. It had indulgences that you could buy that would reduce your loved ones or yourself's time in purgatory. Well, I'm not really going to get into whether or not purgatory is biblical. It isn't. But anyway, he was dealing with corruption in that time, and so there's that similarity between him and Jesus. That's basically the only place the similarity lies at that point. Beyond that, it's done with. But I mean, this is an awesome movie. This movie it's amazing, and I'm talking about it because, well, for some people, some Christians, some Protestant Christians, they like to celebrate what's known as Reformation Day because it is believed that the 95 Theses that Martin Luther wrote was nailed on the door of the church, I believe in Wittenberg. I think it was Wittenberg. Anyway, it was Wittenberg. It was believed that it was done on that day, on October 31st, which, everyone else calls Halloween. It's become known as Reformation Day. So, in pointing and mentioning that, it's not that I have a problem necessarily with Halloween, kids dressing up and going out and getting candy and all that stuff and all that fun. No, it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of fun to think and reflect on Reformation Day and the fact that the Reformation occurred and that we have, I would say, a better understanding of things. And anyway, but I'm here to talk about this movie, not so much the validity of the Reformation and all of that other stuff. That perhaps will be for another video, but I highly recommend. This movie came out in 2003. I don't really remember it being advertised, although that doesn't really mean anything, I suppose. But it is a good movie. It is enjoyable. I believe it is Joseph Fiennes plays Luther. He does a very good job. It's just, you may recognize this guy. I don't know if you can see him. I don't remember his name, but he, of course, played Otto Octavius in Spider-Man 2. And interestingly enough, one of his first roles, or at least the first one that I recognize him in, was he was in Raiders of the Lost Ark at the beginning. He played the character Sabito, I believe is his name. I probably just butchered it. But anyway, just a lovely little example of my facial recognition. But anyway, it is a great movie. Oh, yeah, by the way, he plays the character of John Tetzel. Suppose at this point, if you don't know anything about Martin Luther or church history, that may or may not mean anything to you. But anyway, see the movie. It's great. See it, discuss it with people, just enjoy it. It is a wonderful movie, and I cannot recommend it enough. For me, as I said before, it definitely pumps me up. It gets me excited. It's just wow. It is an amazing movie. It is very enjoyable for me. So I highly recommend it. So go check it out. Rent it, probably on Netflix. Actually, don't even rent it. Buy it. Watch it. Watch it with other people. Enjoy it. Discuss it. Yeah. All right. This has been NPX, and until next time, later.